I am Verna Smith, and welcome to another edition of Issues in Focus. We are, in this special edition, talking largely, mostly, healthcare reform and the excitement. Should we be excited? That in a matter of days, a countdown has begun, and I think this is day number 8. The president has said that in 10 days he wants to have a bill on his desk. His press secretary Bob Gibbs have said by next Sunday the president will have a bill on his desk. Right and or wrong, I'm ready to hold my breath that finally all the closing arguments are in. I am ready to hold my breath that finally the GOP has realized that yes, the majority won the election, the majority has the votes, and yes, my message to the Democrats, you have the votes with 50 or 51, whether you want to use the word jam or if it's more polished to say reconcile, just do it. It's time to sign the bill. We have had all the talks, we have had all the teabaggers, we have had all the town hall meetings, we have had the summits. Enough is enough is enough. This is a time, as I said, to bring a close to this open-ended argument on healthcare reform, which in some instances might be considered that we squandered a whole year talking about it. Now is the time to say yes. On the list of things the Democrats have done, healthcare reform has been accomplished. So again, today we're talking reform. Will it happen or won't it? As I've said, I can't see why it shouldn't happen. Yes, I don't see that we'll get a single payer. Yes, I don't see that we'll get even a public option, but government works in an incremental fashion, and I think that given all the hoops, given all the barriers that the Democrats had to jump to get to this point, given all the pressure the progressives had to put on the Congress and the Blue Dogs to get something done at this time, given the bill that is in the House and the bill that is in the Senate, it's time for we come to a close. This cannot continue forever, and should it not happen, I cannot see what it will be for the Democrats in the upcoming midterm elections in November. So again, today we're talking healthcare reform. We're talking that the president has asked for a bill to be on his desk. He's fired up. He is demanding that Congress work with him to get this done. Nancy Pelosi has promised that she'll get this done, although many are saying that the House does not trust the Senate and what they'll do. At this point, all we're saying is that, yes, the closing arguments are in on why this is needed. The closing arguments are in on why, at this particular time, the healthcare system as it is unsustainable. It is already eating up 17% of our GNP. Should nothing be done, it may go to 20 or 25%. It is unsustainable and something must be done. The closing arguments are into the GOP, who promise that they will do whatever they can to stop this, but probably they still do not understand that President Obama, like President Reagan, campaigned on a promise. He won the election, and he should be given a chance to implement one of the major pieces of his campaign promises. The closing arguments are in to the Democrats to still realize you won the election, you have the votes, with 50 votes and one from the vice president, whether you want again to use the word jam or to use a better polished word reconcile, use what's in your hands and get this done. We cannot continue to deny working people who are working 3 jobs who have no health insurance. There are people who over the last week have lost their jobs and now they are without jobs and health insurance. This country, a developed, industrialized country, remains the only country that still does not provide some form of universal health insurance to its citizens. I am saying, as I've said on my blog, will this piece of legislation be deliverance for some people or apocalypse for some others? It would seem that depending on what side of the fence you are, there would be a mixed reaction to this. But I'm saying it's time for deliverance for those people with the pre-existing conditions. I'm sure you've heard President Obama talk about Latamba Canfield, her fight with cancer, her state lying in a hospital bed now with leukemia, with no insurance, Although over the years she has been paying into the system, I need not go over that case again. All I'm saying, for those of us who have been following this particular piece of legislation in terms of its possibility, I think this is it. I am holding my breath that this will happen, and I hope that you are. But of course, you could have a different point of view. Not to mention the Stupak amendment about abortion. That should not be a part of the bill at all. So despite the fact that I'm female and I have concerns about women having the right to choose, pro-choice, this should not be used to prevent this piece of legislation from going through. This is not the time. These are two separate things, and for the moment, I think we should stick to the law of the land, no federal funding for abortion. So let's get on with the bill. Clyburn, who is the whip and who speaks, Congressman Clyburn, believes we'll have a bill. Some others think the president is gambling on a 50-50 chance that this bill will pass. I said it's worth his while as a leader to put himself out there to say this is something I believe in and I'll fight for it to the end. Politics is about people and changing people's lives, and this is his opportunity to prove to us that when he said this is change, we can believe in, yes, we'll see this piece of change happen. So again, this is Vernon Smith. Join me at my blog, zipinpolitics.com, zipinpolitics.com. Would love to hear your points of view. Yay or nay? You're in agreement or you're in disagreement. I want to hear your points of view. So join the conversation. Leave a message on this video. Leave a message at my blog. Join the conversation. I am Verna Smith, and this has been Issues in Focus. See you next week, and I hope when we talk again, I can say finally it happened. Join the conversation. I want to hear from you.